Okay, what is Southern hospitality? It's very misunderstood by some people who aren't from here. And as someone who is from here, I can expound on it. What it is and what it isn't. Okay, so I am going to jump right in. Okay, Southern hospitality is real yes, even in the current era we live in, if you get outside metro areas. If you're in the hustle and bustle of major cities like Atlanta, Memphis, you might not, and you may not see it so much, but yes, small towns off the beaten path. The one thing I do want to accomplish with this video is I want to make the distinction about Southern friendliness and a Southerner who may actually end up being a friend. Now, okay, and I also want to clear the air about the stereotypes, the negative stereotypes. Like, I know that some of these Hollywood producers like to put this message out that Southerners are backward or dumb or racist, and the men are all dating their sister. And I do want to say none of those are true any more than the general population. Okay, I got that out of the way. They're not, I don't think Southerners are dumber than any other group of people. Backwards in some ways, yes. But they are extremely insular people. They do not have a high level of trust when it comes to outsiders. And good luck breaking into their little social circles, because I have found, unless you grew up together, unless you went to the same church for many years, or you have some kind of kinship tie, and it doesn't matter if it was sports or where you worked, they just really, I don't know what it is, but they do not really, they're not the type, they're just not going to warm up to you quickly. I guess if you're not from here, you've noticed that. It's very confusing, because you might experience their good behavior in a public setting and think you might be able to make a friend. But I would not put any bets on that, because like I said, they're very hung up on their family, they're very hung up on their old roots, and they're what I call their legacy cliques. And you feel like you're trying to, you feel like you have to be a master lockpicker to kind of get a chance at getting a foot in the door of one of their little social circles. And I can tell you this, and this is a little bit, this is a little high IQ, but here goes. And this is almost making me think, God, why didn't I major in anthropology instead of art when I was in college? But the South is a very high context kind of culture. There's a certain anthropologist who wrote a book about this. I forgot his name, but high context versus low context cultures. Look that up sometime. As you've heard me say, I have told people in videos, I was diagnosed with some kind of developmental disability at a young age. And if it's anything to do with the spectrum, like high functioning autism, Asperger's syndrome, any of that, you already have a difficult time, especially in your early years, understanding social cues and decoding people's body language, what they mean when they're not talking and all that. And I don't know how many fellow doomers are out here from the South. I only know of a few out there. Seems like a lot of the Black Pill channels I follow, I think they're like guys from the West Coast most. And Toronto, I noticed that a lot. Toronto, Canada comes up a lot, but I'm just kind of standing here because that noise of that generator kind of. There's a few. Black Knight Ear, I don't really know that he's, I don't know, he may have gone to another platform. He's from the South. Let's see, Celtic Cat and Sent My Own Way. Shout out to you guys. I don't know if y'all had trouble down here fitting in or not, but anyway, if you're like me and neurodivergent, you probably do much better in a low context culture where you can see groups of people who, without the theatrics and all the social window dressing, and I think I'll just go this way, I can get away from that noise. And a lot of people who have visited or traveled a lot to other states and regions probably remark about Southerners are very polite. And yes, that is true, they are. But keep in mind, Southern politeness is often a shield. They're not confrontational. They really don't. I mean, they're masters at what I call the slow fade. I mean, they're the type of people that will never come out and say something. You really have to read between the lines and understand subtext. So that is why I want to stress so much that if you didn't have a long history growing up, don't assume anything that they are your friend, okay? Just chalk it up to they're friendly, but they're not your friend. You know, there's a difference in the two. But it might be, a lot of it is why I don't fit in down here. I've always had a tough time. Somebody else that was on, I used to, somebody who was on here, I think he went by the handle Captain Brandon Horror Lover. He was from Louisiana, and we had a lot of fun talks, and I don't know what happened to him. He kind of went AWOL. Something in his family happened. I don't know. But he was like me. I think he was born with also some kind of developmental disability, and he had some of the same problems. It's almost like I don't know if we have some kind of wiring or antenna that we just sense each other and get each other. But if you're a normie, if you're a neurotypical down here, I don't know what it is. You feel like you're just shunned, and you're shunned in this little passive-aggressive way that you're supposed to just figure it out. You know what I mean? So trying to decode people down here for a long time was really tough. But if you're having a hard time understanding why people seem nice down here in a public setting, but they pretty much freeze you out if you suggest something like, hey, let's go grab a coffee or something, they're definitely going to have some kind of shield up. I don't know what it is. I would not even suggest that, okay? Only if one of them suggested first, which doesn't happen very often, but I don't know, I guess once in a blue moon, who knows. So that's my little ramble for today about Southern hospitality and what it is and what it isn't, and I hope it helps some people out there. And if not, ask me some questions, because I know a lot about this culture, unfortunately. Like, the scenery is beautiful. There's a lot of great... The South is a very scenic region, but the culture, I just can't... I don't know. It's like I'm from Mars and they're from Jupiter. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I'm going to close this out, and I'll do another one later. Bye.